Hey, what is up guys? This is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and I'm continuing my celebration of the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. So with this year marking the 40th anniversary, I've been taking a look at a ton of Star Wars figures. And for my next review, I'll be taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series AT-AT Pilot. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased in your standard Black Series window box packaging. Turning the box around, we can see that this figure is numbered at 31. In the center, we can see an image of the AT-AT Pilot, as well as a short bio for the character. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is the AT-AT Pilot out of the box. And man, I am so stoked to have this character in the 6-inch scale. He's been one of my all-time favorite designs ever since The Empire Strikes Back. He's such a cool figure, he's got a great ton of paint detailing, and I am so glad I got to check him out here with you guys. So with this figure finally in hand, let's take a closer look at the AT-AT Pilot. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the AT-AT Driver. Now, this was actually kind of always one of my favorite designs back when The Empire Strikes Back and all that came out. I just thought it was so cool because it had this look of like a stormtrooper mixed with like a TIE pilot, and I always really dug this look. I just think it's so cool, and I'm so glad we finally have it in the 6-inch scale, which is very cool. And I think the detail on it came out actually really nice. I love the fact that we're getting different paint finishes in this figure. So we got like the glossy finish of the actual helmet itself, which I think all came out really good. Even somewhat of the like the armor pieces around here are almost done in like a semi-gloss. And then you got the actual bodysuit itself, which is a little more flat compared to everything else, but it's still very cool. I love all the detailing in the helmet and whatnot. The paint for the most part came out really good. I like the fact that it even got like the one red little dot right there, like on the little helmet right there, on the little helmet vent. I think that came out really nice. Lots of great detail there. I love the way the Imperial logos came out. Those came out really clean. Lots of times things like that tend to be really smudged and whatnot, but they actually did a pretty good job with that, so I like that quite a bit. This little control panel right here, breathing apparatus, whatever it may be, all looks really good, and it's really cool because there's actually a lot going on in there, so you can actually see how actually well they did the paint. Like, they didn't really cheap out on it whatsoever. Lots of red buttons and gold and white and silvers and blacks, and I think they actually did a really good job with that. Loving all the folds for the actual bodysuit itself, the jumpsuit. You know, it looks like you got some cargo pockets right there. I didn't even realize that until now. I think it all looks really good. I love the fact that we got these little tassel pieces right here. Those are separate pieces, so they don't actually hinder the articulation whatsoever. Nice thick boots too. That's what I really do like about this figure too, because they give them really thick soles of the shoes, so it kind of feels like actual snow boots. They kind of look like Uggs, to be honest, but those are still pretty cool. They got the back control panel, again, very nicely painted. I think they did such a good job with the paint on this figure, surprisingly. Even the vents in the back here, I mean, they look really good. You can see how this one has a black, this one has a little bit of red going across the back, and you can still get a lot of motion of that with these hoses, because these hoses are a softer plastic, so it does move around with it pretty easily. So he only does come with the one accessory, which is your standard Stormtrooper blaster rifle right here, and he does have one hand like that with a trigger finger, which is pretty good. So you can hold it in one hand, but you can actually get two-handed poses. So if you want to get something like that going on, just pushing those fingers a little bit better, and you can get some two-handed poses in it. So again, I think that's very cool. I do like the way that came out. So let's take a look at articulation now. So the head is on a ball peg, it just rolls around just like that, as well as the disc hinge that allows you to point up and down, pivot side to side, turn left and right, just like so. These shoulder pads are slightly a bit of softer plastic, so you can go all the way up and down and out like that. So like I said, that plastic, then it's soft, it doesn't really hinder articulation whatsoever. You get a single bend at the elbow, as well as rotation at the elbow. You get rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do seem to get a ball peg from the lower abdomen into the upper torso. So that rolls around just like that, rotates left and right, pivots side to side, and crunch back and forth. Get hip joints, allows you to kick forward that much, back about that far. Can do the splits about that much, rotation at the thigh, double jointed knees that are actually very tight, which I actually really do like. We get an ankle joint that allows you to point the toe up and down, and a really nice ankle rocker. So overall, yeah, I mean, you're going to get this because this is such a classic character, you know, especially if you're a big fan of the original trilogy. I mean, who wouldn't want an AT-AT driver? And let's be honest, who wouldn't want a 6-inch scale AT-AT? That thing would probably cost $1,000. But man, if I could afford it, I would definitely have this guy piloting the thing. So I think he is definitely a must-get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Black Series comparison, here he is standing next to the Black Series Stormtrooper and TIE Fighter pilot. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the Black Series Princess Leia figure that I've already previously reviewed. And just for fun, here he is standing next to little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys. My review of the Star Wars The Black Series AT-AT pilot. Now, I couldn't be happier to have this figure in my collection. He's been one of my all-time favorite characters. I know he had a pretty minor role, or I should say appearance, but he dominates one of the most intimidating mechs that I've ever seen in a sci-fi film. I am so glad he's part of my Star Wars collection, and I think he is definitely a must-get. So please comment, like, and subscribe. May the Force be with you, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.